Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of React TCG. We're opening up another pack of videos by Death Battle. Um, yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say today. Nice and quick. Alright, let's get into it then. We have Trunks versus Silver up first. Um, sorry, got like a frog in my throat or something. Um, Archie Sonic comics. So, shit gets pretty crazy in those. I feel like because it's comic version of Silver, and comics have just been around so much longer than anime and get so much crazier. Have they actually been around longer than anime? No, I don't know. Definitely longer than Dragon Ball for sure, though. Even if it's Dragon Ball Heroes Trunks, I don't think he's gonna win this fight, unfortunately. I would love it if he won, because I prefer when the anime characters win, but they end up losing more often than not when they're paired against a comic book character. Like Vegeta losing to Thor. I think that happened. No, wasn't last episode. It was way longer than that. Oh, maybe not. Okay. Couple episodes ago. All right, wasn't too far back. But yeah, Thor versus Vegeta. He lost. This battle, Hinigo versus Tetsuo. Tetsuo lost. Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. Goku Black lost. Like you get the point. Anime characters tend to lose to comic book characters. I think Shadow won this fight, so good on him. But that just goes to prove, like, Shadow versus an anime character, Silver versus an anime character. You know what I mean? Let's get into it. Sponsored by Bespoke Post.
Trunks Briefs, time cop of the Dragon Ball Xenoverse.
Silver
Yep.
the Hedgehog, secret freedom fighter from Archie Sonic.
While these two temporal warriors may be well known, today we're looking at their counterparts from alternate universes.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a
A
death
death
battle.
battle.
Everyone knows Trunks is the coolest Dragon Ball character. Don't
Bullshit.
lie. When he showed up to prove Goku wasn't the only Super Saiyan around, you popped a Shenron in your pants.
I
After
did not.
witnessing his
Fuck that
entire
guy.
world slaughtered by a deadly
I,
android
I
duo,
thought Vegeta
and
got
using his
robbed.
mother's time machine to hop to the past to make things right, Trunks made his triumphant return to his own time period.
But for this version of Trunks, that's where things start to get a bit different. When he was
Yeah.
intercepted by this JoJo posing fairy chick.
The Supreme Kai of Time, Cronoa. She watches over all of time in the Dragon Ball universe, and was forced to arrest Trunks for his alterations to multiple timelines.
Welcome to the world of Disney's Loki. Oh, sorry, Dragon Ball Heroes. An alternate universe. No Xenoverse.
Same thing. Dragon Ball Heroes and Xenoverse are both based on the expanded lore that was introduced in Dragon Ball Online, all of which are included in this analysis.
Where every Dragon Ball story has its own canon timeline. Kinda like if some nerd's weird DBZ fanfiction became totally official. And it rocks!
Unlike his
Yeah.
more well-known counterpart,
Full name Trunks Breathe. Height 5'7", weight 132 pounds, age 30, occupation Time Patroller, son of Vegeta and Bulma. Secret identity of the Great Saiyaman 3 inspired a Yu-Gi-Oh card named Tyler, which is a one-of-a-kind card that the guy who he got it like as like a Make-A-Wish thing, and then he survived his like disease. Yeah, they just got to keep that card. Yeah, he sold it a while ago for like millions, man. It was crazy. Um, Enjoys card games and drinking heat tap. Hell yeah, fellow card game lover. Fucking now I want him to win even more, and and he's not gonna win. I already know it. He's gonna fucking die. I'm pretty good at guessing these things. Um, while we're on the subject though, they keep mentioning Xenoverse. Xenoverse 3. Oh my god, it's gonna be so fucking awesome, guys. I am so hyped for that. I really wish we had more information. I want like, is there gonna be new transformations? Can we actually change history this time around? Like, I don't know, man. I'm hoping for some crazy stuff.
This Trunks was made to atone for his crimes against time by joining Cronoa's secret enforcers, the Time Patrol.
I'll give you one try to guess what the Time Patrol does. But hey, even if it wasn't on his to-do list for the week, Trunks is the perfect guy to protect the whole multiverse. He has the usual collection of the Saiyan's key powers, but also a magic sword straight from the hero of time. Like when I close my eyes and don't even care if anyone sees me.
Celebrity Cruises. Nothing comes close.
So I got myself a DNA kit from myheritage.com, and I've got to say, it's pretty amazing.
No, not him. Not him. That guy, yeah.
Even with the differing timelines, it's heavily implied this Trunks has lived all the way through some variation of the Goku Black Saga.
Yeah.
Therefore, he possesses all powers the original Trunks has, including the ability to assume the golden form of the Super Saiyan.
And
Which
gathering
isn't
ki
really
from
impressive anymore, but, you know, it was a thing. Saiyan Physique, Ki and God Ki, Burning Attack, Buster Cannon, the Gallic Gun, the Final Flash, Flight, Healing, his Heat Dome attack, the Masenko, and of course his Sword of Hope. Then there's his transformations. He can go Super Saiyan 1, 2, and 3. Super Saiyan 3rd grade. I'm not sure what that is. I think that might be the buff form. Super Saiyan Rage, and Super Saiyan God. But he has not gone Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan yet. So that's already a point against him for winning.
life forms to make this ultra huge laser sword.
However, he has also performed a divine ritual to unlock godly ki within himself, taking on the incredible red visage of a Super Saiyan God.
Hell yeah.
God power sure does come in handy when he's fighting literal demons, like when these weirdos revive Mechikabura, the ruler of the demon realm, causing
Fucking
all sorts
dicks.
of time breaks across the Xenoverse. It's kind of a mess. Lucky for us,
Yeah.
Jocelyn's even nerdier than Wiz. What useless
Yeah, she
knowledge
is.
have you got for us today?
Come on, dude. Knowledge is never useless.
Yeah, knowledge
so
is
all
power.
the major timelines in Dragon Ball Heroes are recorded in tomes called the Scrolls of Eternity. Anytime
Yep.
somebody hopscotches through time, another one of these scrolls poofs into existence. There's
Yeah.
just one teensy little problem.
What do you mean by long time no see? I changed the flow of time in the room where you were training. It's only been 3 days since you went in. You went through all these scrolls in 3 days? Bro.
There can only be so many scrolls. Once you hit the limit, surprise! And teensy little problem. There can only be
The reason you got called here is because I caught you trying to manipulate time with that vehicle you call a time machine. Yeah, it's
so
a
many
problem.
scrolls. Once you hit the limit, surprise, you just
Even if I, as the manager of time, make one little mistake changing history, everything could be totally ruined.
triggered cosmic Armageddon. And that's not even counting all the lesser timelines branching off the main ones Trunks and co have to keep track of.
Yeah,
Anyway, Trunks and the Time
it's a
Patrol
lot.
are some of the only peeps who can time warp without causing these distortions, thanks to unique devices like this armband.
Though sometimes a patrolman gets ballsy and tries to mess with time themselves, like when Silas tried to rewrite Dragon Ball Heroes, both the world and the game. Oh yeah, did we mention that? The universe is an arcade game in its own universe.
Yes and no. In the far-off future of the Xenoverse,
Alrighty, this is gonna get complicated, I can already tell. The Heroes arcade game is depicted as either a method of time travel or some sort of virtual reality. Either way, it is a method of visiting another period in time within the multiversal history of Dragon Ball. Ball.
The Dragon Ball Heroes arcade game essentially serves as another method of time travel, allowing future warriors to visit iconic moments in the past.
So much for preventing the Ragnarok of the multiverse or whatever.
That's where those lesser time branches come in. They don't count. Just because.
These machines
Yeah.
also send an avatar of the player back in time, complete with an assortment of collectible cards that can summon facsimiles of well-known characters.
That's
Yeah.
right. Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a rare reverse holo now.
Trunks
Yep.
himself is an avid fan, along with his disciples Beat and Note. Fun fact, Beat is a descendant of GT Goku.
Trunks
Crazy.
even funded a
But it makes sense. The Brave Sword, Time Travel Armband, the Hero Switch allows entry into Super Dragon Ball Heroes, can summon cards, notable supports, Shield Break, Health Capsule, and the Damage Boost unit. Key Sword, Awakened Form, powered by Krona, Toki Toki, and Demigra. Purifies dark magic, conceal enemies within the Time Labyrinth. The fuck is that? Can nullify an opponent's power.
cool disc-style hero switch, so he can use his cards on the go. And you thought Trunks was cool before he went full Seto Kaiba. Hell, he somehow made the Great Saiyaman look badass.
That's
how
fair.
you put polish on disappointment. And I thought that was pretty damn impossible.
All these powers, gadgets, and cards certainly came in handy against foes like Mechikabura, but they weren't always enough. Even Super Saiyan 4 Vegito had trouble fighting the Demon King, who created a black hole to consume every timeline in the multiverse.
Until
Fun.
Trunks broke out the ultimate Deus Ex Machina, the Key Sword. No,
Not that.
That one, yeah.
There we
yeah.
go.
This epic blade isn't just a sword. It can completely shut down an opponent's powers. And thanks to being powered by Bird,
What
it
was
can
that? Activated when the enemy team is 5 or more and you make it an attacker. Attacks the selected enemy and super downs the enemy's energy. In addition, a successful seal will prevent all abilities of that enemy from being activated during the next round. One time only. Only one key sword lock can be activated by a team.
completely shut down an opponent's powers. And thanks to being powered by Pinky over there, it can summon the power of the Eternal Time Labyrinth. Which is just really fun to say.
That's fair.
With Finn, you get lower fuel consumption, greater ROI.
Most
higher
anime
yields,
things
and
are.
second-to-none
It's
service,
why they shout
making
things
that
really
bottom
loud
line
when
of
they do
yours
attacks.
sparkle more than Granddad's new veneers. That's Fint. That's growing bold.
Your daughter wants a birthday party.
Fuck this ad.
Well, even more fun, it traps targets in the crack of time, a bubble of reality outside all timelines
Oh, yeah, I remember
with
that
windows
place.
into others. And the key sword was powerful enough to finish off Mechikabura in a single strike.
Obviously, this puts Xenotrunks
He sparred with Beerus and Whis, has surpassed the mainline Goku in both speed and power, trained the Dragon Ball Warriors Note and Beat, has traveled through timelines across Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super, and Dragon Ball GT. Why does no one ever go back to Dragon Ball? Just saying, like, if you can travel back in time and you're looking for, like, an easy spot to take over or, like, kill Goku, why not go to when he was a kid, before he knew all of his, like, key attacks and shit, when all he knew how to do was punch hard. You know what I mean? Just go back there and, like, flick him in the forehead and kill him instantly. Anyway, it's comparable to the Future Warrior who damaged the Crack of Time. So Future Warrior Us from Xenoverse? Who's the Future Warrior? Okay, yeah, that's what I thought. That's from Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Okay. Has defeated Frieza, Cooler, both Android 17 and 18, the Demon God Demigra, and Mira. Also one-shot Mechikabura, who once consumed all of time and space with a black hole.
In the upper echelons of Dragon Ball power levels, even eclipsing the this put
Sword was powerful enough to finish off Mechikabra in a single strike.
Obviously, this puts Xenotrunks in the upper echelons of Dragon Ball power levels, even eclipsing the main timeline's Goku, who could destroy the universe up to 13 times over when he
Go watch that video, Goku Black versus Reverse Flash. I'll link it in the iCard or description or whatever the fuck, however that works.
first channeled Super Saiyan God.
The same Goku who could push through Hit's time skips and could fly from Grand Kai's planet to Hell in less than a minute.
Considering the distance between these two realms as displayed in this canon visual model, that would require speeds over 29 quintillion times faster than light.
And that was even before going God, let alone getting training
Way
from
before.
whiskey.
Whis and many of Trunks' patrol buddies are just as impressive. Like you! Well, the you who battled Demigra in the Xenoverse game when he had control over all time and space, or the you who fought the demon Shamel who threatened the whole multiverse. You are technically a canon character in Dragon
Hell
Ball.
yeah, I am. I'm
Congrats,
awesome.
I guess. Maybe now you can throw that Kamehameha for real. Oh, come on, you know you want to.
So the bad
Okay, yeah, I totally want to.
Because Trunks and his time cops will always be there to stop them and protect time itself.
It's
And now the guy who's gonna kill him.
37PXE.
The fuck
world
does that
of
even
Mobius
mean?
has entered an era of
I hate when shit does like stuff like that. Like,
437P.
what does that mean? What is PXE? Like, what the? Why?
XE. The world of Mobius has entered an era of darkness. This savage future has been ravaged by unending fires, giant monsters, ecological disasters, and general dystopia of all kinds. But standing
The fuck
against this
happened?
harsh and bleak reality is a lone hero. A young head
Like, if it was Eggman, you would expect robots and metal people, right? But there's like monsters and natural that. Who caused this? What happened?
hedgehog with silver quills named, Silver.
So,
The hedgehog.
comic book Silver doesn't sound too different from the one in the video games, right?
Wrong.
Don't count on it. This is the same comic where all the tales in the multiverse fuse together into this monstrosity.
What the
so
fuck?
strap in for a wild ride.
With no family to speak of,
Okay. Full name: Silver the Hedgehog. Height: 3'3". Weight: 77 pounds. Age: 14. Born 200 years in the future. Is a member of the Secret Freedom Fighters and is codename Agent Ace.
Silver was taken in by the last elders of his damaged world, including the immortal Wizard of Chaos, Mammoth Mogul.
Silver's goal was to become a
Oh,
knight
what
of
The only to speak of, Silver was taken in by the last elders of his damaged world, including
Okay.
the immortal Wizard of Chaos, Mammoth Mogul.
Silver's goal was to become a Knight of Cronus, a time-traveling warrior who could save the future by changing the past.
Silver's base abilities include super strength and super speed, though not quite at the same level as those of Knuckles or Sonic, respectively.
Well, that's okay, because he's got his own special weapon, Mind Bullets.
And more, a lot more. Silver possesses the rare power of psychokinesis,
So was that old
allowing
man
him to move
Knuckles?
himself or other objects around with just his thoughts.
Oh my god, that ad is so
He can
informative.
move anything from rocks to skyscrapers to entire mountains.
But that's not all he's got up his sleeves. Gloves. He always keeps a warp ring on hand. A size-shifting power ring that can teleport him anywhere he likes, even other dimensions.
And he can access the insight, resistances to corruption, and power boosts many other Mobians can attain.
He tires himself out overusing his psychic powers. He can recharge them by absorbing power rings.
With usual power rings.
With all this, he was a shoo-in for school with the Woolly Mammoth Mage. Thanks to Mogul, Silver got to learn about two other magic abilities.
Yeah, that's
he'd
old
soon
man
master.
Knuckles. That's hilarious.
First up, Chaos Control! The
I
magic
do like
Mogul
20 years
pioneered
later.
himself centuries ago. This is the stuff Sonic and friends used to shoot pew-pews and turn into super not Saiyans.
Then, Mogul discovered
Super
another
hedgehogs.
magic, Cronus Control. With this, Silver can move through time with very little effort, made even easier thanks to his Time Stone, a gem that governs time itself.
After doing tons of research, Rose, Sylvie, and Mogul discovered that their shitty lives could all be blamed on just one person. Apparently, one of Sonic's own freedom fighters turned traitor and ruined everything.
Oh
What a
shit.
twist! So Silver set off with a full arsenal to baby Thanos that bastard.
Only one problem.
He didn't
The
know who it
Archie-Sonic
was.
multiverse is complicated. Hell, complicated barely even cuts
What
it.
the
Jocelyn, how
fuck?
about you take this one?
Okay, Archie Sonic's multiverse is similar in scope to
Spider-Man
something
Sonic.
like DC Comics, with multiple extra-dimensional layers like the Chaos Force. There are infinite universes with infinite timelines and infinite characters.
Oh, as if Sonic needed more of those.
Oh yeah.
Including the likes of Mega Man, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, and Spawn.
Wait, what?
What
With
the
the
fuck?
Time Stone, Warp Rings, and Cronus Control, no timeline or dimension is out of Silver's reach.
So Trunks is about to get his face beaten, right? We're all accepting this fact, right? We've all come to peace with the fact that he's about to be murdered by a silver fucking hedgehog, because that's what's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Oh my god. Alright, let's see what this says. He has ESP and telekinesis. Silver the Hedgehog comes from 200 years in the future of Mobius Prime. The future is in perpetual turmoil. Every time Silver travels back in time to solve one issue, another arises, causing him to return to find a new terror. Silver is eager to be a hero, but his tenacity gets the better of him. Sometimes naive to a fault, his heart is in the right place, but he still has a lot to learn. Silver has very few contacts, even in his time. Edmund, the last guardian of Onyx Island, the half-sunken remains of Angel Island, and Mammoth Mogul. So I guess that wasn't Knuckles. I guess it was like a descendant of Knuckles or something. I don't know. He was raised by the ancient and ailing Mogul, who sent him on his quest to find a traitor among the freedom fighters in the past.
So, like bad sushi mixed with vodka, time hop.
This quest led Silver to joining the secret freedom fighters. Silver uses the orange time zone to travel through time. Due to his constant time travel, he has become decoupled from time. Oh, like Reverse Flash. That means that every time he returns home, he remains unaltered by the events that he changed, and therefore must relearn the entire history of Mobius every time. Damn! This leads to a lot of confusion. That's just the part we were before. If he tires himself overusing his powers, he can recharge
This way
with
had
powers.
some weird side effects. Like Cronus Control, no timeline or dimension is out of Silver's reach. Though, like bad sushi mixed with vodka, time hopping this way had some weird side effects. Like decoupling Silver from time. So if he causes a real bad butterfly effect, he doesn't get erased like poor Marty McFly. He just has a lot of catching up to do.
Sorry, can you go back to the part about Sonic the Hedgehog meeting mother Spawn?
What the shit, man?
Let's just say, Silver had a hard time figuring out exactly what he needed to do.
I mean, even if it was more straightforward, he's not exactly the sharpest quill on the hog.
Good thing Archie Silver is way more badass than he was in the video game. He's fought all sorts of epic baddies across time and space, like Darth Knuckles,
Enerjack.
Gesundheit, who stole the souls of every Mobian in the world. This guy threw
What
a whole
the
continent at a
shit?
wheat-haired hedgehog, despite fighting a literal dark.
What the fuck happens in these comics, man? Like, how can Sonic comics be weirder and more complicated than anything I've seen in DC or Marvel? Like, what the actual fuck?
God with far more power, Silver won the day by turning evil Nux' own attacks right back at him.
Not too
Bro.
surprising. Silver's psychic powers on their own are
Psychokinesis disrupts technology, energy shields, interrupts space and time energies, limited ESP, and telekinesis. Super Warp Ring, the Time Stone, which gives him Cronus control and detects temporal anomalies, and his super form, access via the 7 Chaos Emeralds, has Chaos Magic, Chaos Control, and the Shield of Light. He also turns some weird color like the others. Like, Sonic and Shadow just turned, like, gold. But I'm pretty sure Knuckles turns, like, pink or something.
Strong enough to teleport instantly, disrupt any technology, close tears in reality, and stop time from being pulled out of him.
Also, according to the Archie Sonic Comic Encyclopedia, Silver still experienced some version of the events of the Sonic 06 video game.
That's just... I feel bad for him. Who wants to experience that?
You know, everyone's favorite.
Including the battle
Fuck you.
against Solaris, who could eat time, where
You had to
Silver
show
achieved
that?
the invulnerable form of Super Silver.
He went
He gets
Super
a
Saiyan.
major boost to match the speed and power of Super Sonic. As Sonic Man, without this supersonic energy, Sonic was already fast enough to outspeed stopped time. Let me say that again. Time was frozen, and Sonic could still move. What the hell?
Naturally, Supersonic and
It was confirmed by writer Ian Flynn that Sonic broke out of the time stop with speed alone and not via any innate time manipulation resistance.
Super Silver should both be faster than this. But as calculating speed requires a factor of time, and this feat removes time from the equation entirely, this means Super Silver's speed is incalculable.
Immeasurable,
His
yeah.
speed is faster than time itself permits speed to be.
That's stupid.
And yet, Sonic still lost to Flash. Think about that. His speed is incalculable, and the Flash was still faster. Like, what the shit, bro?
That's Archie Sonic.
Hardly a super form's most impressive feat, though. There have been a few occasions where the Archie
Alrighty. Kept pace with Sonic the Hedgehog, immobilized Vile from Mega Man, lifted hundreds of tons of rock and metal, survived being hit with all of Angel Island, restrained Ifrit, a world-destroying monster, saved the Prime Mobius, Light Mobius, Dark Mobius, and Anti-Mobius timelines. Jesus. Defeated Solaris, Mecha Sally, Second Devourer, and Enerjack.
Sonic multiverse has been completely demolished and restored, and each one used the same chaos power Super Silver possesses. The most notable, of course, was when Super Sonic teamed up with Super Mega Man to counter the Super Genesis wave.
Which completely rewrote all of time and space.
Luckily, despite being right at ground zero, the super forms were immune to the Super Genesis wave's reality warping power, giving Sonic and Mega Man the time.
Sonic was later reset due to Eggman's interference, but the Super Genesis wave erased the universe around Super Sonic and Super Mega Man before they performed Chaos Control.
They needed to save the entire multiverse.
Oh no, what about...
Yes, even Spawn.
Oh, thanks, Satan.
But even in this brave new world, Silver was nothing short of a hero.
As long as this dorky hedgehog is around to keep up the good fight, even the darkest timeline will have a silver lining.
That was bad. That was terrible.
This episode
Terrible
is
pun.
sponsored by
Lineup of bring you
That's
what you have travel
Made Buck up and you
have at Buck
code.
are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle through time.
Pretty good song already.
Stop! You're under arrest for unsanctioned time travel. Seriously? This is what I do.
Yeah, that's why you're under arrest. Fucking 14-year-olds, man. Shit. I expect him to put up a good fight, but I really don't see Trunks winning this.
It's no use. Rip off.
Yeah. Are you really throwing the moon at him? Bro.
Ah, crap baskets.
He says that. It's funny.
Oh, yeah. Come on, give me a good pull. Good enough.
And PGP Goku. And it is kind of funny pull. If you stop with the whole using his own attacks thing, get fucking jerk. Come up with something original. Oh no! He loves that thing. Yeah, feel the might of a god.
Now to shut you down for good!
Oh, did he win? Oh. So, which one won?
If you're from Canada and you have over $10,000
What was stronger,
of
the
debt,
Labyrinth
credit
or
cards,
Chronos
payday
Control?
loans,
That's
lines
gonna
of
be the
credit.
question.
I don't think we're in Mobius anymore.
Oh, did Trunks get him?
This is it, Time Hog! The end of your future!
And reverse time, right? Yeah. Yeah, we sent the sword back through time and fucking sealed him with it instead. Poor Trunks. I knew he was gonna lose though. Damn it.
KO! Oh, come on! Trunks is way past cooler than furry Kyle Reese.
It is hard
Yeah.
to imagine Trunks losing to anyone. However, Silver ironically had just about everything he needed to put the Half Saiyan 6 feet under.
First off, time travel wasn't much.
Alrighty. Trunks was stronger and faster than base form Silver. His key sword could counter hit time manipulation. He had a way more variety of an arsenal and even had summons. But most of his attacks could be countered by Silver. Silver was stronger and faster once he got to his super form and was able to redirect most key attacks that Trunks could throw at him. He was also capable of disabling Trunks' technology and had superior control over the battlefield, but his super form had a duration that was a lot shorter than anything Trunks had.
Of a factor, since they were both pretty well versed in it. Either way, Silver's psychokinesis could disrupt tech like the hero switch and the time travel armband, leaving Trunks without his gadgets and primary method of hopping through time.
Let's be frank, in base form, Silver never stood a chance at matching Trunks with his own power. Even in his super form, it's questionable whether or not Super Silver had the physical ability to match Super Saiyan Trunks. In short, it's practically impossible to lock down exact numbers and limits for their power levels.
So Trunks could have probably taken a win if he found an opening, but Silver's psychic powers have worked around similar disadvantages before. Interjack was way stronger than him, could match the power of Supersonic.
Well, in base form, Silver Psychokinesis briefly restrained Super Scourge, a dark version of Supersonic, despite the large power gap.
And conquered all of Mobius, but Silver could consistently Uno reverse card his attacks back at him, and he wasn't even super at that time.
Trunks was obviously much faster than Goku's trip to hell. He could easily be sextillions or septillions of times faster than light, maybe even more. However, by the very nature of Dragon Ball powers, his speed must have a limit, even if it is impossible to know an exact number given what we've seen.
But Archie's super forms have consistently shown incalculable speeds. Sure, Goku broke through Hit's time skip, but that actually has nothing to do with speed.
As explained
Yeah, no, that
by
was
Whis,
key.
the effectiveness of time manipulation in the world of Dragon Ball depends on the difference in power level between the caster and their target. Such as when Kranoa attempted a time stop on Mira and failed, due to Mira's energy being stronger. Xenoverse's Goku has also mentioned how increasing his energy affects space and time around him.
In any other matchup, this would be totally buck wild itself. But no, Archie super forms just have to break time itself.
It's
Yeah,
also difficult
literally.
to put an exact number on Trunks' maximum level of power. The strongest beings in his continuity can affect his
Well, the number of recorded timelines in Dragon Ball is finite based on the scrolls of eternity. The Xenoverse has infinite peripheral timelines such as Parallel Quests and the Infinite History DLC of Xenoverse 2.
entire multiverse, which has infinite timelines plus the crack of time outside. In contrast, chaos magic wielded by a super form like Supersonic can rewrite the infinite timelines in Archie Sonic's multiverse, plus the extra-dimensional realms outside, like the Chaos Force, Pocket Zones, Mega Man's own infinite universe, and yes, possibly even a multiverse with Spawn. The scope of Dragon Ball's cosmic scale simply does not compare.
Plus, unlike Sonic, Silver spent many years being trained how to use chaos magic by the guy who invented it. Hell, if Mega Man could rewrite reality just minutes after learning he could even use the Chaos Emeralds at all, imagine what craziness Silver could pull off.
Trunks' best
Yeah,
chance was the
that's
Key
fair.
Sword's ability to nullify powers, like it did to Mechikabura. However, the Super Genesis Wave explicitly could not rewrite the presence of Supersonic or Super Mega Man, despite
Damn.
being able to rewrite even the extra-dimensional Chaos Force from whence it came. It's likely Silver's super form could resist the Key Sword, at least for a time. Ultimately, while there are many versions of this battle where Trunks can win, Silver's superior abilities close out a victory more often than not.
To make things brief, Silver was just hogging the spotlight.
The winner is Silver the Hedgehog. Hey,
Damn. I knew it was gonna happen. I told you. Alright. Next we have got SpongeBob versus Aquaman. Um, Now obviously this is meant to be a joke battle because they're using the Super Friends Aquaman, which Super Friends is the whole reason everyone thinks Aquaman is a complete joke and a fucking loser in the first place. Is because that show just made him look pathetic. You know, he's a lot cooler in the comics, which, you know, if you've watched my Aquaman versus Namor, reaction. That being said, with how crazy SpongeBob is because he's a joke character in a kid's cartoon, uh, even if this was the main Aquaman or the strongest version of Aquaman you could find, I'm pretty sure SpongeBob would still be losing this fight. Or SpongeBob would be winning this fight. Fuck, sorry. Shit. How did I fuck that up? But yeah, SpongeBob's not gonna lose, guys. Like, let's just get that out of the way. Come on. It's Super Friends Aquaman. If you've ever seen Super Friends or know anything about Super Friends, or have even just seen the jokes about Aquaman, like, all those jokes, that's this Aquaman. Where all he can do is talk to fish. Not even, like, control them, he just talks to them. That's this guy. I mean, this guy is basically the Deep from The Boys. You know what I mean? He's that level of pathetic.
SpongeBob SquarePants, Nickelodeon's #1 nautical nincompoop.
Aquaman, the thalassic third wheel of the Super Friends. Thalassic means ocean. I looked it up.
The infinite ink-black depths of the seven seas are home to any number of terrifying, awe-inspiring creatures.
They're also home to these two losers. Though when it comes to cartoon characters, there's always more hidden beneath the waves. That's right, we're prioritizing the cartoons for maximum Toon Force shenanigans. He's
Of course.
Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle.
It's SpongeBob. The winner is going to be SpongeBob.
The year was 1946. The former allies of World War II were engaged in a Cold War between capitalist West and communist East.
The United States changed history forever with the introduction of the atomic bomb, a weapon of unparalleled nuclear devastation.
One of their
Yep.
most popular test spots, the site of 23 separate detonations over the course of 12 years for a total fission yield of 42.2 megatons, was Bikini Atoll in the middle of the Pacific
and
Ocean.
start the
results
conspiracy
were
theories.
ecological devastation, and perhaps something more. Deep beneath the atoll, the fauna began to change. They evolved, becoming sentient, forming language, technology, and society. This Bikini Bottom organized into a monarchy under the god King Neptune. It developed a free market economy.
This origin is, of course, just one theory, perhaps contradicted by the fact that Bikini Bottom history had its own Wild West, medieval, and pathological cultures. And yeah, but it's a neat theory. If you want to hear some more, go check out Film Theory. I think they've done a few SpongeBob theories.
And a thriving artistic culture.
Even the simplest underwater creatures became capable of complex thought, including the very first multicellular organism to be categorized as part of the animal kingdom, the sea sponge.
And one sponge in particular, the greatest among them, lives in a pineapple under the sea.
Under the sea.
Oh!
SpongeBob SquarePants.
No, I wanted to sing the song.
I don't
You're
know
no
about
fun.
greatest.
You're no fun, Wiz. Full name, Robert SquarePants. Wait, hold on, his actual name is Robert? Bro. Wait, if his name isn't Sponge Robert SquarePants, why did they call him SpongeBob? Why isn't he just Bob SquarePants? Weird. Holy shit, he's 36? He does not act 36. I mean, I know he had a job and stuff. He was trying to get his license. But I never thought he was like in his 30s. Height 0.4 inches. Sorry, 0 feet 4 inches, which is 10.16 centimeters. I feel like he's gonna look a lot bigger when compared to Aquaman, though. Yeah, I mean, otherwise, like, he should be like, fucking, you've seen, if you've seen the SpongeBob movie, you understand. You've seen him next to regular people. Weight 1 ounce or 28.34 kilograms is the Krusty Krab Employee of the Month. Honorary Town Rookie of the Day. And lives in a pineapple under the sea and has outlived the Bikini Bottom apocalypse.
SpongeBob may headline one of the most popular children's cartoons of all time, but he's a total dork. He's a painfully naive man-child whose only ambition in life is to continue his minimum wage job as a fry cook at the Krusty Krab.
Really sounding like a Squidward there, Wiz.
Yeah,
And no one wants to be a Squidward. Sponge Robert might not have the flashiest life, but he's happy. And that's what matters, ain't it?
Not in Death Battle, it doesn't. SpongeBob
Fair.
is routinely physically incapable of even the most basic tasks. Almost like anti-Toon Force. He's the biggest wimp in town. Like the
Hold on, okay, I've got to read this because I just read that in my head. In Battle for Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob replenishes his health by finding clean underwear. This implies that he shits himself every time he takes damage. Things like this is why I say it's like it was obviously meant as a joke. They're just shitting on SpongeBob, man.
basic tasks. Almost like anti-Toon Force. He's the biggest wimp in town. Like the time he failed to lift a glass of lemonade, or the time a school bully gave him diarrhea, or the time he effortlessly rotated the entire planet. Huh.
Oh, we're in for some shit now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Despite being a real sea creature, SpongeBob is more like a kitchen sponge. Absorbent and yellow and porous is he, after all. He can stretch and shapeshift his body any way he likes, duplicate himself through asexual reproduction, and
Bruh.
absorb immense amounts of liquid. Wouldn't
Including
he
the whole
always be
ocean.
full, though?
From an entire lagoon to, oh god, enough water to replace the moon?
Oh, and for some reason he has an insane healing factor.
Sponge physiology, liquid absorption, shapeshifting, duplication, and regeneration, flight and teleportation, imagination. Fourth wall interaction, goofy goober rock, and the Toon Force that every fucking cartoon seems to have.
He survived being torn in half, vaporized, having his soul removed from his body, and literally being unraveled out of existence. Okay, I think we're good. We can just end the rundown here.
No, I need to see how deep.
Of course you do. Fucking whiz. Though he looks as though he disappeared, his disembodied laughter can be heard as the episode ends, proving he's still alive in some fashion even after he was unraveled. What the shit?
This rabbit hole goes. Perhaps his most mind-bending ability is his control over bubbles. No, stay with me. This is
No,
unbelievable.
he's
Like
crazy,
a
man.
soapy Green Lantern ring, his bubbles can become anything he wishes, from guided cruise missiles to sentient life and entire bubble societies. That's
Yeah.
a pretty similar effect to his magic pencil, which
Where
can
did you
draw
get that
anything he
boomstick?
wants into existence and erase it from reality just as easily. The pencil was so powerful, SpongeBob sent it back to the surface where it belonged. But in later seasons, he still just has it for some reason.
And finished. I call him Doodle Whiz. Whiz, he's just like you, but I made him with a pencil.
I'm
What
calling the
the
police.
Ah! Oh my god!
Even the mundane becomes godlike in SpongeBob's yellow hands, like his reef blower, which hoovered up the entirety of Earth's oceans in seconds and then exploded on top of SpongeBob all at once.
It's estimated the entire mass of Earth's oceans is about 1.5
We are gonna talk about what just happened.
tons. Considering all the water refilled the planet in about 1 second, that'd be a kinetic energy of over 6,000 yotatons.
That's enough energy to nuke Jupiter 13 times over. And
Damn.
SpongeBob was completely unharmed.
He was just fine.
Hydrodynamics
Hydrodynamic spatula, all reliable jellyfishing net, bubble soap and wand, reef blower, karate gear, Krabby Patties, and his magic pencil.
spatula isn't just an impromptu bladed weapon, it's also his primary instrument to create the greatest foodstuff Bikini Bottom has ever seen. The Krabby
A
Patty.
burger so delicious, it's basically magic. Not
Yeah.
only is it totally addictive, SpongeBob was romantically attracted to one. It can nullify mind control, heal wounds, and even detonate.
SpongeBob has survived nukes point blank, hugged his best friend Patrick so hard their DNA fused, can ride on the scene transitions, and once cried so hard he flooded Bikini Bottom, even though it's already underwater. Shit, he once grabbed a hold of this mysterious string and unraveled the entire universe. He literally undid the fabric of reality in seconds. What the fuck?
What was that you were saying about anti-Toon Force?
I'm sorry. I'm not sure I've ever misjudged a character as severely as SpongeBob SquarePants.
Nice
Yeah.
character arc there, Wiz. Unfortunately for Roberto, the rest of the town only saw the goofy goober on the outside. It took more than one adventure to prove
It's alright. He's fine with being a goofy goober. That's what he is. It's who he is.
himself to be a real hero. You think he ever banged that squirrel?
He's Crush Plankton's plan
What the
Z.
fuck?
Be a real hero. You think he ever banged that squirrel?
I love how they put nope here. That's, oh my god.
He's Crush Plankton's.
Alrighty, crushed Roboplankton's army flipped a patty so fast that it escaped reality. What does that even mean? Withstood a nuclear pie detonation, stayed awake for 43 days straight, ran to that mountain and back. Want to see him do it again? Bro, oh my god, defeated Plankton, Burger Beard, King Neptune, SpongeBob Steel Pants. Oh my god.
Plan Z won the Battle of Bikini Bottom against an army of killer robots, and even teamed up with fellow Nickelodeon stars Timmy Turner, Jimmy Neutron, and Danny Phantom to save the Nicktoons multiverse.
His
Bro,
biggest
what?
weakness is that he's a giant, suicidally naive idiot.
And depending on the humidity of the atmosphere around him, being out of the water can dehydrate and permanently incapacitate him.
Oh, also seasonal rot. Those first 3 seasons are pure gold, but after that, oh boy. There's this one episode called Squid Baby where Squidward gets brain damaged into a giant baby and shits himself on screen.
What are you talking about?
Oh, right.
What the fuck?
And Hasselhoff's aside, it wasn't until SpongeBob accepted himself for who he was that he was rewarded with the greatest boon of all. Middle management!
So if nautical nonsense be something you wish, then pray to your yellow porous god for mercy, because his whimsical laughter is the last thing you'll ever hear.
Damn. I don't know how they did it, but they made that sound badass. Alrighty.
Aquaman,
Aqua
King of the
Loser.
Seven Seas.
We've covered Arthur Curry on the show before, and he's actually secretly awesome.
That's right, Boomstick. But the version we're dealing with today is from the bargain bin cartoons from the 60s and 70s.
Now, you might assume that means this Aquaman is a total loser, but really,
And
have
he
you
is.
watched all those cartoons?
Remember, this is from the
I've
era
seen
when
a lot.
Superman was sneezing solar systems apart. So, get ready.
Art's origin is basically
Yeah,
the
but those were comic books. He wasn't sneezing apart solar systems in the Super Friends cartoons. Alrighty, real name Arthur Curry is 6'1", 325 pounds. God damn, dude is dense. A member of the Super Friends, citizen of Poseidonus. His allies are Aqualad, Mira, and Storm. Really? He's allies with Storm? Aqualad and Mira, yeah. That's a weird one. And is the product of human fish, and you didn't have to put it that way. She doesn't look like a fish. She looked as human as Aquaman does,
Same
okay?
as the Silver Age comics. Tom Curry was a humble lighthouse keeper who decided one day to fuck a fish.
He did not do that. He
Who basically the same as the Silver Age comics. Tom Curry was a humble lighthouse keeper who decided one day to fuck a fish.
He did not do that. He procreated with Atlanta, an Atlantean from the underwater city of Poseidonus, and from their union, Arthur Curry was born with magnificent aquatic abilities.
And he's the king of Atlantis, too!
Oh, wait, no. It says here that was introduced in the comics later. Here he's
Yeah,
just
nope.
some guy with
Yeah.
magnificent aquatic abilities and a giant mutant seahorse that neighs just like a land horse.
This Aquaman comes from a time when everybody who's anybody had their own secret cave with assorted gadgets. He's got an underwater...
Jet ski. Why does he need a jet ski? He can swim. Octopus ink cartridges, heat ray, water pistol. Why? A net and a communication ring.
A net,
He's fucked.
octopus ink, a water pistol, and a portable heat ray to blast right through solid ice. Not exactly mind-blowing, but, you know, I'm sure we're ramping up.
We sure are.
Black
Aquaman's
Manta.
hybrid human Atlantean biology grants him superhuman strength and the ability to breathe underwater indefinitely and withstand the crushing depths of the ocean floor.
The pressure at the bottom of the Mariana Trench is 16,000 pounds per square inch. That's like being stepped on by 100 elephants. Which is a lot, I guess.
Aquaman is also an incredible swimmer, able to travel from Florida to Maine in under an hour. That's almost twice the speed of sound. He can create
Oh my
waterfalls and
God.
whirlpools out of thin.
Super strength, super swimming. You see, if he has super swimming, why does he need a jet ski? Aquatic telepathy, water balls, aquatic senses. What the fuck does that even mean? Like echolocation? Whirlpool creation and water absorption.
Water, and fittingly, water-based attacks are completely ineffective against him. And of course, you can't forget his aquatic telepathy.
He can talk to fish, and he can even control
Nope,
people's
nope,
minds
no,
and
you
give
just
them
talk to
seizures.
no, you can only talk to fish.
Actually, that second part is also just from the comics. Cartoon Aquaman can talk to fish, which is awesome. His telepathy can reach several miles, summon hundreds of sea creatures at once, and works on anything from microscopic organisms to alien life, as long as it's aquatic alien life, of course.
But he can still mind control them, right?
No.
Kind of. He can free them from mind control and even influence their emotional state to some degree, but besides that, there have been times when sea creatures have just ignored his commands outright.
Wiz, I'm gonna be straight with you. You haven't said anything remotely mind-blowing yet. Does this Aquaman actually suck?
Hold your seahorses.
Yes.
Aquaman's exploits were so world-renowned, he banded together with Earth's mightiest heroes to form a team capable of defending the planet, nay, the universe, from any threat. The Super Friends.
Super Friends.
The Super Friends. They're like the dime store knockoff version of the Justice League.
What?
Yeah,
No,
literally.
You've got heavy hitters like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Flash,
keep going.
Green Lantern.
Yeah, come on.
Apache Chief.
Yep.
Samurai. Black Vulcan. The Wonder Twins. And their pet monkey Gleek.
Wiz,
Stop.
You're embarrassing yourself.
No, wait, his best direct strength feat was when he, moved some trash. About 50 metric tons of it.
The
Just
jokes
stop.
write themselves, huh? Fun fact,
Just-
Aquaman once enrolled in an American college under the name Mr. Waterman. So we're working with a pretty hefty IQ here.
God damn
He's
it.
lame and arguably completely lame. I was convinced I'd find some crazy, insane Popeye punching out the animator feat somewhere, but
No, he sucks.
He actually sucks. His best feat is literally garbage.
I'll take over from here, Wiz. Aquaman is a bit of a joke, sure.
Oh, what do you mean a bit? He is the butt of all jokes everywhere, guy. Oh my god. Okay. Has defended Atlantis from countless threats, moved 50 metric tons of garbage, lifted a giant boulder, I believe that happened underwater, said to be faster than a barracuda, has dodged laser beams, kept up with the Kryptonia beast Rokon, and has defeated Black Manta, Nepto, Vasa, and Undyne. And if you know who any of those are other than Black Manta, congrats, because I fucking don't.
But he's not completely useless. He's dodged laser beams, defeated a living Titanic
Looks like they
by
missed,
luring
but
it
sure.
into an iceberg, seriously, and beaten this water elemental Undyne, who looks like a gorilla for some reason, by summoning seagulls to pelt her.
Wait, seagulls? But those are birds. Anyway, another elemental self-summoned a blizzard to completely freeze an oil refinery based on its size and volume of ice. This would be an energy of 2.9 kilotons of TNT. Why does that
With
even get mentioned?
clamshells. He once even outswam this Kryptonian pterodactyl monster, Rokan, who flew from the edge of the galaxy to Earth in about 15 seconds.
Well, maybe it's a faster flyer than
now we're
swimmer.
talking. That'd be over 55 billion times the speed of light. And Aquaman's swimming clearly outmatched that. It doesn't matter if it looks lame.
You get one, buddy.
And hey, he could probably kick your ass, person that's watching at home, so that's something.
Could he, though? I mean, could he really? I'm questioning if he could kick my ass, because, like, doesn't he dry out on land? I have to duck and dodge. You know what I mean? I feel like I could avoid him, or just lure him in somewhere that's, like, dry or cold.
Well, not if he's on dry land. If
Yeah.
he's out of the water for even 1 hour, he dies.
Yeah, see-
Never mind, person.
Like, I got this. No difficulty, man. I can survive an hour dodging Aquaman until he starts suffocating, and then, yeah, this is what happens.
Watching at home, just
Okay, apparently the minions are making mustards now. Good to know.
The Tilsonburg multi-service.
hide for a bit, grab some lunch, and then stomp on his corpse.
But is raw power really what makes someone a hero? Or is it the drive to help others, to be of service, to sacrifice? That's what a hero is to me, and I'd say Aquaman's got as much of that as there are drops of water in the ocean.
He's gonna die.
He's about to die.
Yeah.
I mean, you're right. He is still a hero.
We've run the data through
You know.
all possibility.
I mean, think about that. He's this lame, and he's putting his life on the line to save people. You know, he is a hero, but yeah, he's gonna die. He's about to die.
One possibility.
It's time for Aquaman's funeral!
Yep. Not sure how it will happen, but it will happen.
Mermaid Man!
You're not Mermaid Man.
You're not Mermaid Man.
The name's Aquaman, evildoer.
Evildoer? I'm a hero.
I saved this city.
It's the my leg guy.
There's only one real hero here, fiend. And he's
a super friend.
You see, sir, I'm a sea sponge, phylum porifera, and you can't just... How about a little karate, Waterman?
It's Aquaman!
Yeah, but in English, that's Waterman.
Of course. He's a sea creature. And as the king of the seas, he's mine to command.
But you're not the king of the sea. We established that already.
I wasn't just reaching out to you, Sponge. Let him have it, chums! Great Neptune!
God damn it.
Get a load of this, Seaman!
Damn it, it's Need water powers fading. Is there nothing I could do? Amen. I see it now. A multiverse of Aquaman. And out of all of them, I'm the lamest fucking one!
Yep.
I'm a ripoff. A joke. I'm no superhero.
People used to say the same kind of things about me. Goofball, wingnut, knucklehead McSpazatron. But every day, I get back up and say two
Yeah, that's
words.
cheating. That's not yours.
I'm ready.
May the best hero win.
He will.
What?
He erased his arm. Damn.
The other side of the universe.
Hey, narrator guy. Yep.
I'll prove it to you. I'll be a real superhero.
Yeah, he didn't survive that. Good on you, though. You went out like a real hero, man.
Don't cry, Sponge. Let's be super.
Still got the name wrong.
What is it with ridiculously OP nautical-themed cartoon characters on this show, Wiz?
This was
Fair
an
enough.
incredibly close fight. Gotcha! Obviously,
Yeah,
Aquaman
no.
didn't have a snowball's
Yeah, no.
chance in hell in defeating this little spongy bastich.
Where do we even start? With his bubbles and magic pencils, SpongeBob could basically do anything he wanted. There was no way Aquaman wouldn't get totally overwhelmed, especially with his much more limited arsenal. I can't think of a more lopsided matchup than someone whose main attack is
SpongeBob is an obsessive fan of the superhero Mermaid Man, an in-universe parody of Aquaman, with the same exact powers. He'd be familiar with anything that Aquaman could possibly throw at him.
throwing water against a sentient sea sponge.
Aquaman's only potential option was his telepathy, but as we've covered, it's far less powerful than his comic counterpart. There's no reason to believe SpongeBob wouldn't just ignore Arthur's commands.
Even if it was straight up mind control, SpongeBob's Krabby Patties straight up cancel mind control.
And really, nothing Aquaman had could overcome Bob's utterly broken regeneration.
The little yellow dude has survived being completely disintegrated into dust and even erased from reality. All Aquaman can do is punch kind of hard, and even that's basically useless against Bob's squishy body.
Maybe Aquaman could have found a way to dehydrate SpongeBob enough to keep him permanently incapacitated.
He'd risk
like when
killing
he and
himself,
Patrick were
though.
trapped in Shell City.
But that would require the fight to take place out of the water, which messes Aquaman up way harder than it does SpongeBob.
Yeah.
And it also require the fight doesn't instantly end up with SpongeBob karate chopping Aquaman at 10 zillion times the speed of light, splattering his atoms against Saturn. Because, yeah, remember when SpongeBob unraveled the universe? Considering the...
No, I'm sorry, I need to do this one. This is...
Fair.
This is fucking insane. Compared to SpongeBob's size, the string's width is about 192 micrometers. We can use that to find the volume of, say, 1 meter of string, and compare that to the volume of the entire observable universe. Considering it took SpongeBob about 5 seconds, he would have had to be pulling at 8.2 times 10 to the 78th power times faster than light.
That's as many times
Holy
faster
shit.
than light as there are atoms in the universe.
Bruh.
Is the fastest calculable speed feat.
And it's
in our
from
show's
fucking
history, and
SpongeBob.
it belongs to SpongeBob SquarePants.
But do you think he could take on comic book Aquaman?
Have you been listening to anything I've been saying?
Good point. Because let's not forget.
Yeah, he would
That's
school
right,
him.
He also destroyed the entire universe. And stuff like that is actually consistent.
SpongeBob is literally aware of the fourth wall and has rewritten the plot of his own story.
Jeez. Okay. Goddamn, that was crazy. Absurdly stronger and faster. Can absorb more water. Was immune to Aquaman's telepathy. Infinite potential with his powers. And could not be killed by Arthur. The only downside was he's kind of dumb. And Aquaman won the moral victory, I guess, and everything else was a negative, so.
As he's living it. Screw the pencil or the bubbles, he can just will whatever he wants into existence from his imagination. He's a god, a yellow, spongy god of death.
And that's why he beats Goku.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Got to be a real hero. And at the end of the day, that's what matters.
Yeah, sure, whatever, pal. He's dead. Too bad for the King of the Seas. That sure was one sweet victory.
The winner is SpongeBob SquarePants, our god.
Goddamn. Alrighty, it's Jason Voorhees versus Michael Myers next. I think Jason's gonna win. I will say, as a kid, I was fucking terrified of Michael Myers. Yeah, I don't care what anyone says. He was scariest, not because of what he did or anything like that, or because he was more brutal, or even because he looked scary. It was the silence. Jason had the silence, but we know why he was quiet and stuff. He was literally an undead monster. But Michael, he's a regular guy. He's not crying out in pain after being shot. He's not, like, you know what I mean? He's quiet the entire time. The new movies ruined that. But he's quiet the entire time. And just the stuff he survives in his movies. He gets shot, like 6 times in the first movie, falls out a fucking window, gets stabbed in the eye with a clothes hanger, and still goes on to kill more people in the second movie before then being lit on fire and exploded. And he still fucking survives. He gets injected with acid and survives. Like, bro, it's just like the fact that he was a regular guy surviving this stuff while being completely silent and just killing that many people, it freaked me the fuck out as a kid. But as I said, Jason is like an immortal fucking zombie monster creature thing. So I feel like he's a deadite, isn't he? I feel like that's canon. Maybe they'll mention that. I feel like the book that Pamela used the book to bring back Jason as a deadite or something like that's the story. And that makes it so I think he's gonna end up beating Michael Myers just because he's crazy and powerful, but he is still just a guy. Plus, Jason has fought like other serial killers with special abilities before, like Freddy. Well, let's see what happens.
Prepare
Oh shit.
yourselves. It's time we tell the tale of Crystal Lake's masked murderer, Jason Voorhees.
And the horrifying boogeyman of Haddonfield,
Jeez.
Michael Myers.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to bring terror and fright on this Halloween night on Death Battle.
Death Battle.
Within
That was
the
pretty
wood
good
Death
though, just do.
Within the woods of Crystal Lake lurks a killer, buried but not dead, doomed to rise from the grave and slaughter those who live and love, if you know what I mean.
This is
I
the
do.
curse of Jason Voorhees.
Rumor has it he was a deformed.
Alrighty, his full name is Jason Voorhees, 6'3" or 1.90 meters, 275 pounds of pure muscle or 125 kilograms. Is Pamela Voorhees' baby boy, has a half-sister named Diana Kimball, still active in the year 2455. Damn, that's like over 400 years in the future still. So it's a possible deadite, not confirmed, okay. And was a guest on the Arsenio Hall show. I don't know what that is.
Child, bullied and harassed all of his life, only cared for by his single mother. But not even Mama Voorhees could save Jason when he tragically drowned at Camp Crystal Lake. Or did he?
Over time, Crystal Lake became wrought with strange disappearances and violent deaths.
Including the camp counselors who should have been watching Jason when he drowned all those years ago. Someone or something ... was out for vengeance.
No, not Kevin
And yet
Bacon.
These harrowing murders were committed by none other than Jason's own mother, Pamela Voorhees, seeking revenge against those who neglected her child, dooming him to his terrible end.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Good for her, I guess.
However,
Girl power.
even after
Yay.
her killing spree was cut short, the deaths continued.
Literally.
Nobody could prove it, but maybe, just maybe, Jason was still alive.
Oh, hell yeah, he is.
Yeah, he's definitely alive. Wait, has he been living in the lake this whole time?
Jason has
That's a good
fortitude
question.
far beyond any normal man. You can swing an axe in his face, blast half his body away, or trap him in an exploding building. Yet it will all be in vain.
Even when one of the few survivors of his attacks hacked him to pieces, Jason rose again. Seriously,
Yeah.
this happens a lot.
Nobody knows
Yeah.
the true source of his unkillable nature.
Bro just will
Some
not
say it's an
stay
indigenous
down.
curse. Others say it's the Necronomicon, and some even say it's a hell worm. So not too many reasonable.
Yeah, not a lot of explanations. According to Creighton Duke, the Voorhees family curse can only be stopped if another Voorhees kills Jason and sends him to hell. However, 2 more sequels and a novel about him getting out of hell indicate that this also does not work.
Answers.
Either way, be careful, or you just might end up on the wrong side of Jason's trusty machete. Something he uses with enough strength to split skulls and pierce metal.
Even when
Yeah.
Jason has no weapon, he can be resourceful and oddly creative with his kills. He might bludgeon you to death with a
Machete, his favorite weapon, pitchfork, spear gun, double-sided axe, a tree, party horn, sauna rock, jungle gym, a bed, liquid nitrogen, and basically anything he can get his dirty fucking dead hands on.
sleeping bag, drown you in a garbage can, or snap you in half between a bedfold.
Worst of all, this demented mama's boy will always get his prey. Oh, you think you can run away? Well, think again, idiot.
He can teleport.
No, he can't.
Oh, yeah? Well, how about
I mean,
the time
maybe.
he appeared in multiple places at once around this dance floor? See? Teleport.
Yeah, see, go watch go watch Film Theory's video on this. They did a whole thing on if Jason could teleport or not. And they make a lot of good points. I mean, maybe he can, but there's some good points to be made for that there's reasonable explanations for what he did, for what happened.
Wrong. Hallucinations resulting from a mix of cocaine and panic.
Okay,
Yep.
smartass. How about when he teleported from one end of this ship to another? How'd
He
get
just
there?
ran.
Actually, when watching the full scene for complete context, there is plenty of time afforded for Jason to jump down the deck while off camera. He is quite athletic after all.
What, without making any sound? The guy's built
Yes.
like he's made of 100 brick houses. Are we watching this?
And yet he sneaks up on people all the time. Dude is a stealth ninja somehow. I mean, he's been taking lessons from Batman or something. Bro just appears out of nowhere when he's fucking walking around.
Same movie?
Look, fans have argued this for years, and while
Yes.
admittedly those moments are questionable, they're not enough to prove actual teleportation.
Okay,
No.
how about this one? In Jason X, where 3 soldiers are shooting him straight on, and he just disappears. Poof! Gone! While they're looking right at him, goddammit, it's teleporting!
Well, I'm sure there's a logical explanation.
I just stared at this scene while processing 900 trillion frames per second, and Boomstick is correct.
Ha!
Also,
Fuck you. Doesn't prove teleportation. With all the smoke and debris and shit, the lights going out, he could have just fucking disappeared.
now my eyes are broken. Joy.
You know, Jason can actually teleport in the video game, so I believe it.
I suppose teleporting would explain how, despite his hulking size, Jason can move with ghostly silence and pick off victims one by one. Are you sure about this, dummy? Dummy? Either way, Jason's unstoppable bloodlust makes him a horrifying threat.
Even if you think you're protected by...
This is why you don't do stuff like this out in the woods. I'm pretty sure Dummy's dead, guys. Killed well over 200 people. Can tear apart a victim with his bare hands. Lifted and flipped over a car. Survived a building explosion. Was given numerous death penalty punishments and still lived. Has survived being burnt, dipped in nuclear waste, cremation, and liquid nitrogen. And escaped hell by
A
force.
foot of solid steel, he'll just crash through it to stab you.
And though it's tough to believe, there may actually be a deadlier Jason out there too.
Stronger, faster, and campier. This is Uber Jason, rebuilt from Jason's remains through a sinister fusion of science and mysticism. And guess what? Normal Jason later fought Uber Jason and actually
won.
held his own. Yeah, the
Oh,
comics get kind
just
of
held
wacky.
his own,
Just
okay.
go with it.
I was expecting a and one situation there, but alright. Jason's ability to hold his own against Uber Jason demonstrates how much of a threat he is even to physically superior opponents.
Only natural for a monster that has fought other supernatural entities.
Like Freddy Krueger, Leatherface, and the groovy man himself, Ash Williams.
Indeed.
Oh, shit.
So be warned, if you ever see a shadow moving through the darkness and hear a familiar run. Jason is out to find you, and chances are you are not leaving alive.
Yeah. Might as well make peace with your gods, because you're
Bleak
dead.
Halloween night, Michael Myers was born into the world as a seemingly normal child. However, beneath his pale, blank face hid something dark, something evil.
How evil? Well, he stabbed his sister Judy to death when he was just 6 years old. Oh, what a rascal.
Michael was institutionalized
Yeah.
in a sanitarium
Classic,
where he
right.
simply sat still, almost like a machine. His psychiatrist, Dr. Loomis, spent
Full name, Michael Audrey Myers. 6'3" or 1.90 meters. Hey, look, he's the same height as Jason. 61. God damn, bro. He's moving like that at 61? God damn, you are fucked. Also known as the Shape and the Boogeyman, was birthed stillborn, direct descendant of a cursed bloodline, considered the truest form of evil by Dr. Motherfucking Loomis right here, and his mask is modeled after William Shatner because they were working with a budget and they just grabbed whatever was left in a holiday store.
8 years trying to reach him, but Michael never said a word.
But even when locked up, he still managed to get away with several murders, including
Yeah.
Loomis's fiancée. There was
Yeah.
no helping or stopping Michael. More than anything, he wanted to kill.
After 15 years, the night before Halloween, he broke out of the sanitarium, leaving behind one word.
sister.
The story goes, Michael had another sibling, Lori, and for some unknowable reason, he wanted her to suffer the same fate as Judy. And everyone else, really. He's not too picky, and he
just likes killing.
For in his hands, anything can be a deadly weapon. Countless reports of various murders have appeared across Haddonfield. He's exploded heads, boiled people alive, and used his trademark knife to stab poor souls to walls like some macabre piece of art.
When they say to admire your work, I don't think this is what...
Dude is just in it for the game. He loves this shit. There is no other explanation for why he murders motherfuckers the way he does. Kitchen knife, car, axe, wire, shovel, various farm tools, and literally anything else he can get his fucking hands on, because that's the kind of killer that they decided to go with. You know what I mean? Like, Texas Chainsaw Massacre uses a chainsaw and a hammer. Freddy, Dream Demon, can make whatever he wants, but Jason and Michael Myers, they were from the era of killers where it's like they're fucking supernatural with the way they can kill. Anything that they fucking have in their hands becomes something they can kill you with.
What they meant. And this isn't some special combat knife or dagger. He did this with an ordinary kitchen knife.
Yeah,
Michael is also
pick that shit up,
surprisingly clever, despite being
stab a guy.
confined for nearly all his life. At some point, he apparently taught himself how to drive.
It's pretty clear this masked psycho was
Thought he was taught by a crazy guy that was part of a cult.
All these kills were just a detour to his ultimate goal, Laurie. On an all too familiar Halloween night, he finally met his long-lost sister and nearly killed her.
But Loomis intervened, shooting Michael and sending him out a window. Phew.
6 times.
Guess that's the end of him.
No.
Yeah, you know it's not.
No one knows how, but the body simply vanished. Only to
Got up
return
and
later
walked
that night
away.
as if nothing had happened.
There's a reason why they call him the Boogeyman.
Even after being set on fire and rendered comatose, Michael Myers would not be stopped.
Yeah.
Almost like
No.
he's some kind of invincible undead monster.
Many
No.
explanations have been given for Michael's strange
He's a regular,
abilities,
regular
but
dude.
some less reputable sources suggest he's bound to the ancient druidic Curse of Thorn, whose symbol is, well, they say it's an ancient icon of Halloween, but it's actually the Norse rune for Thor, sometimes called the Thorn Rune. I think they just Googled rune and thorn and called it a day.
Whoa. Is Michael Myers a Viking? Yes! Awesome!
Curse
No.
or no curse, Michael is inexplicably driven to kill without hesitation, and his victims almost never see him coming.
Huh.
You said, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not good.
Explaining Michael away with a vague curse is nothing more than a crutch.
Sorry, that
for
was just a
truth.
great reaction from Boomstick. You said, oh no.
Well, explaining Michael away with a vague curse is nothing more than a crutch for the truth. The fact of the matter is, no one knows why he is so cruel, so violent, so unstoppable.
He loves the game,
Just
man.
Is.
At the end of the day, evil gives no explanation, only despair.
Michael thrives not just on the satisfaction of murder, but the fear it inflicts in others.
Even scarier, his kills are done with surgical precision. He can murder you as quickly or slowly as he wants. This guy knows exactly what he's doing with that kitchen knife. He's like a hibachi chef of death.
And yet, his attacks were only...
Has flipped a car, survived a church explosion, fought evenly with Busta Rhymes, took a shotgun blast to the chest and was fine, walked off being injected with 100 millimeters of corrosive acid, moved faster than a motion sensor could detect, and survived getting rammed by a truck and a police car going full speed.
Almost brought to an end by Laurie herself, but when the time came for the final blow, Michael proved his intelligence and wit by faking his own death using a body double.
All while getting his sister to commit murder for him. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed.
He's also
fair.
impossibly sneaky, or he can use teleportation, because he once moved through a yard full of motion sensors without setting off a single one, until he wanted to.
Look at this! There's just no stopping him. Fill him full of bullets, Michael will come back ready to rip off your head. Put him in the
Yeah.
center of an exploding church, he'll survive and go on to kill dozens more people, just for dramatic effect.
It was this relentless evil that made the people of Haddonfield go ballistic and band together to end Michael Myers once and for all.
New movies
Unfortunately,
were
the
terrible.
town would soon realize that was just not possible.
Any ordinary person would have been long dead after what he experienced. But
Yeah,
he took
they
all
beat
of the
his
town's
ass.
punishment, got right back up, and went
And
right back to
murdered their
doing what he
motherfucking
does
asses.
best.
And you know what's the creepiest part about all this? They never caught him. He's still out there looking for his next prey, I assume.
So every Halloween night, lock
No, I thought he died at the end of the movies. Did he not die in the last one?
your doors, turn off your lights, and pray you'll make it to morning. Because the boogeyman is real, and his name is Michael Myers. This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by Babs.
Would be a Kickstart Babbles Exist
And starts
for one
featuring
weirdly teach
Oh,
you
and BetterHelp.
from the
outside.
BetterHelp is better to get
Jeez, alright, here we go.
All right, the tales have been told and terror runs free. Let's see which monster will stalk another day.
It's time for a spooky death battle!
Mother is talking to you. The blackest eyes. The devil's eyes. Kill her. Kill her.
Somebody stole his prey.
Alex! Where are you? We gotta go!
She's dead. Dude, you are a jock. Why are you tired? Keep fucking running. And Oogie Boogie. Dude, come on, you could have went right for the kill. How did you not lose your arm? What the fuck are you doing? Run! Dumbass, run! They're fighting. Like, they were fighting each other. What the fuck was his fucking problem? Come on, Jason is stronger than this guy, right?
Make Mother proud.
Just say, you should have more strength than Michael. Yeah. Jason for the win. Finally got to see that fucking douche die. Hate that guy.
KO! Okay, are we sure he's dead?
I think
Be
so.
too careful with these guys.
Michael Myers won't be rising from the grave this time. Jason was too much for him. The stories may paint these slashers as unstoppable, but they do have limits and can be understood.
To Michael's credit, he could match Jason in a lot of ways. Both were experts in methods of killing, and both could totally teleport.
Theoretically, though if both of them really could teleport, then neither had an advantage in that regard. So
And if
teleportation
neither
to
one can
pyres
teleport,
can rest easy,
it doesn't
knowing it
matter.
wasn't really a factor here.
Even the explosions they both survived were similar in size and destructibility.
But Jason held the edge with his superior endurance and healing. Michael faking his death with
Michael's more extreme injuries have required up to a year to recover from. Meanwhile, Jason has been exploded to pieces and was later active using a proxy body.
the body double was clever, but he did it because he explicitly could not survive something like decapitation or getting half his torso blown off.
But Jason could. He also had more experience fighting other super.
Michael has several moves in Dead by Daylight that can hamper a victim's healing, but none completely stop it and likely would not affect healing as extensive as Jason's.
Supernatural enemies like Leatherface, Freddy, and his uber self. So I doubt Michael could have surprised him with something he's never seen before.
And Jason was just as strong and vicious as Michael, if not more. So given the difference in survivability,
Jason had better regeneration, which prevented any lasting damage from Michael, ranged weapons to keep Michael at a distance, and more experience against supernatural foes. They were, however, similar in strength, speed, and durability. Michael was, on the other hand, much smarter and more cunning than Jason, but he was more likely to have less endurance and didn't have any ranged weapons.
he had a much better chance of striking Michael down first. In a battle between two unkillable monsters, it's only natural it would come down to who was more unkillable.
After being ripped to pieces, Michael could now rip in peace. Right, Jocelyn?
Oh no.
Jocelyn? Hello?
The winner is Jason Voorhees.
I'm pretty sure he's right behind you.
Thank you for.
Alrighty. Next is Sauron versus the Lich King. Sauron was taken out by a bunch of hobbits and lost a one-on-one fight to like a regular Dagler dude with a sword. So I'm going with the Lich King here. I think he's gonna kill Sauron and steal that motherfucker's shit. Wait, can he steal shit? I'm just thinking, like, sometimes the death battles, they leave, like, the universe, in quotes, that they are fighting in complete shambles. So I was thinking, like, he would steal Sauron's, like, ring or something, but is that possible? If Sauron dies, does the ring, like, disappear? Because the whole point of the movies, like Lord of the Rings movies, that Sauron didn't die, right? It was like all a plan. I don't know. Let's get into the fight. Like I said, I think the Lich King's winning this.
Sauron, the Lord of the Rings.
The Lich King, Warcraft's Lord of the Scourge.
Evil has many shapes, but few can match the presence of these kings of blight and shadow.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win
a death battle.
But under Morgoth's reign, he became the one and only Sauron.
As the big wig of Morgoth's...
Also known as Mehron, Anatar, Gothar, and Sigurd. Titles: Lord of the Rings, Dark Lord of Mordor, Necromancer, Lord of Gifts, and the All-Seeing Eye, and the Enemy. At least 54,950 50 years old. Maya of Morgarth, formerly of Alul, creator and first bearer of the One Ring, and second in command of Morgoth's
Sauron
armies.
spent thousands of years bringing Middle-earth to its knees.
He's almost more a force of nature than anything else, able to create infernos, cause country-spanning earthquakes, and even absorb souls.
And because he's a weird angel spirit man, he can morph his body around his own soul however he wants, or just shed it like clothing and fight as a ghost!
He can morph far beyond that. He has appeared as something akin to both man and elf, attractive and devious. A werewolf, once thought to be the greatest wolf of all, and even a vampire.
Oh man, Tumblr's gonna go nuts with that.
Many of his greatest accomplishments are not due to his powerful magics and weaponry, but his inhuman cunning. Sauron is nothing less than a master of manipulation.
He's like if Loki and Satan did a fusion dance. He loves to trick someone with illusions, shadow magic, or just by toying with their sad, predictable, pathetic human emotions. Like when he convinced Saruman to join the evil side, who was basically a super wizard specifically meant to lead the charge against Sauron.
In some ways, Sauron is actually wiser than the master he served. In the most epic war to eclipse all other wars, humans, dwarves, elves, and more united to destroy Morgoth, casting what remained of Melkor into the void.
But Sauron saw it coming and bailed faster than me at a divorce hearing, just to show back up centuries later in the fiery pits of Mordor.
There, the Dark Lord created a plan to conquer everything. He fooled the Elven Smiths into forging 19 rings of power and planted them among the leaders of Elven, Man, and Dwarven kind, all controlled by another ring he made in secret.
The one
ring to rule them all.
One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all, and in the darkness bind them. Oh god, that's so epic. Think about poetry now. Forged in the fires of Mount.
Okay, that's fair. AKA the Ring of Power is Sildor's Bane. Contains part of Sauron's essence, grants the powers of dominion over the other rings of power, enhanced natural traits, enhanced perception, increased longevity, invisibility, mental domination, and prophecy. Is nearly indestructible.
Doom, using part of Sauron's own soul, the One Ring amplified his power and let him control the minds and actions of the other ring bearers.
The 9 kings of men were especially vulnerable and saw themselves reduced to twisted wraiths bent to Sauron's whims.
It wasn't any better for the less kingly humans, so much so that Sauron mind-controlled most of Numenor. We're talking about an island nation that could have had as many as 18 million people, and Sauron had them all at his creepy, pokey fingertips.
This led to retaliation from Eru, who had hardly directly intervened ever before, even against Morgoth. Eru sank Numenor, while Sauron was still on it. But the Dark Lord's spirit persevered, indestructible even against the wrath of God.
Sauron used the ring to build himself a new body.
The One Ring is practically indestructible. Even Eklon the Black, the greatest of winged dragons who leveled the mountains of Thangordrim, exceeding over 479 gigatons of force, could not damage it.
It may have cost a lot of power, but he took a biblical event to the face and went right back on to being evil.
And yet, putting so much power into one object did have drawbacks.
Which hit back hard when Isildur subtracted a digit from his hand.
In the books, Elrond claims that Sauron was overthrown while slaying Elduin and Gil-galad, but it is unclear how. Only afterward did Isildur take the One Ring.
Warrior King did more than just cut off a finger. He took doors into one object did have drawbacks.
Which hit back hard when Isildur subtracted a digit from his hand.
The Warrior King did more than just cut off a finger. He took the ring and its power for himself. This act forced Sauron to retreat as a disembodied spirit, threatened by his own power in the hands of another. And should the One Ring be destroyed completely, Sauron's spirit could be rendered impotent.
I have to tell, you're built like a pro. My husband says chest is the hardest muscle to build. What's your superset?
I don't have one, no gym.
No gym, how?
I'm 44, I don't waste time there, I do military.
Stupid.
Beyond repair. It isn't all bad, though. The ring can turn you invisible, create visions of impending doom, and has one hell of a defense mechanism.
Yeah, who'd want to destroy it when it makes you want it? It has a will of its own, with promises whispered even the best of us can't refuse. The greatest
Boomstick.
dinner ever, Boomstick. Bourbon, pecan, parmesan, turducken. It's so precious.
What did you just do?
What? It sounded delicious. Well, ring or no ring, Sauron's a
Aiden, what
He's
the
swapped
fuck?
away armies of
Flight and levitation, immortality, body regeneration, longevity, spirit form, psychic and illusionary magic, shadow and flame magic, shape-shifting, soul manipulation, teleportation, and weather manipulation.
soldiers interrupted Mount Doom through sheer willpower. He has total control over his own being and can modify his soul at will. So he can definitely resist someone like spooky ghost Celebrimbor trying to dominate his spirit.
And being among the strongest Maiar, the peak of Sauron's power is beyond that of Ose, a lesser Maya, which is specifically important because Ose single-handedly raised the island of Numenor.
Yeah, remember that island that got Noah'd? That place. No wonder everyone wants his ring.
The Valar have far greater feats, but Maiar, such as Sauron, have inferior power comparatively. Therefore, Sauron generally scales to feats performed by Maiar and other lesser beings lesser than the Valar.
Who could turn down that much power?
Not Isildur. The hearts of men are easily corrupted, and he kept the ring rather than destroy it. But in the end, the ring destroyed him and waited for its master's return.
Sauron was rebuilding Mordor into a world-conquering force. And after a little bit of good old-fashioned torture, he found out the ring was in the Shire. The chillest, coziest, dopest place imaginable. Ah, man, when I retire, I'm gonna go live in a hobbit hole and just get lit 24/7.
And so
Fair.
began the War of...
Conjured a storm from Mordor to Minas Tirith, directed much of Morgoth's war, fled from Dol Guldur at hypersonic speed, matched Celebrimbor's mind and soul powers, successfully subjugated most of Numar, survived divine intervention, and has defeated Gandalf, Celebrimor, Gil-galad, Elendil, Finrod, and Elteriel.
The ring. Sauron's forces covered the land, seeking both the ring and the downfall of man, always shadowed by the symbol of his ever-present influence, the Eye of
Sauron.
It was a slaughter fest. Middle-earth stood
Yeah.
no chance. Everybody basically accepted death by orcs as inevitable. It was hopeless.
They were
the kingdoms
screwed.
of men would finally fall for good.
Save for the Dark Lord's truest weakness. Sauron's cunning and stratagems were impressive, sure, but ultimately, he never truly understood the people of Middle-earth. In his mind, absolute power was factually irresistible. He never imagined a mere mortal could ever, or would ever, seek to actually destroy the One Ring.
Let alone a hobbit.
And a whole lot of walking, Sauron was defeated. Not by the sparkly new king or the armies of Middle-earth, but by the most unlikely creature imaginable, Elijah Wood.
Yet, even as a formless shadow, Sauron's legacy remains one of domination, treachery, and most of all, fear. Fitting for the being that represents, and I quote, as near an approach to the wholly evil will as is possible.
I love that, though, that in the end, Sauron, he was never defeated by, a great army or some amazing warrior or supernatural being. He was beaten by 3 hobbits fighting over a fucking ring in a volcano. That is how the story of Sauron ends.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored
The spoke host.
Box
Kids,
and
but you'll
month
awesome
Death Battle.
Destruction was in. On the distant planet of Draenor, destruction was imminent. The orc shaman Ner'zhul prepared a spell with his followers to tear the planet asunder, all to escape the fury of the demon lord Kil'jaeden.
But when Ner'zhul waltzed through the portal, Kil'jaeden was right there waiting for him.
Ner'zhul was forced to serve Kil'jaeden's will to ravage another world, Azeroth. Thus, he was transformed into the first Lich King.
This Lord of the Dead was sent to the continent of Northrend, but Kil'jaeden had one more twist for poor Zul. His body was gone, leaving just his spirit, which was bound to a set of armor sealed within a prison of magical ice. Man, this guy can't catch a break. Armor looks sick, though. He's gonna possess me if I put that on, huh?
From his frozen prison, the Lich King would begin his conquest, conjuring an unstoppable plague of undeath. Soon, this would threaten the lives of the kingdom of Lordaeron.
Okay, so that was a lot, but here's where our main guy finally shows up. Lordaeron's crown prince and holy knight, Arthas Menethil. Yeah, his name does kind of sound like something your doctor would give you for fungus, but hey, no. Arthas was a badass. At 19 years old, he was...
Real name, Arthas Menethil. Titles, scored, the Scourge Lord, King of the Damned, and King of Lorandon. 29 years old. Is a Death Knight and a former human paladin. Former lover of Jaina Proudmoore. Good on you, man. Killed his own father and interned at Blizzard in 2017.
Considered one of the best swordsmen in the world and had mastered nearly every weapon he could.
Even with such a skilled warrior as its prince, Lordaeron was already severely pressured by a war with an orcish horde, so a zombie plague was the last thing Arthas needed. Compounding this even further, Ner'zhul managed to break free of Kil'jaeden's power and turned his attention toward creating a champion to lead his ever-growing scourge. Naturally, he chose Arthas,
who was a stressed-out mess, to the point where he tried to stop the plague by killing everyone in his own city.
What is with these weird ads for this game? Like, it doesn't tell me any details, it just shows a fucking person's face. Like, what the fuck?
A man who constantly chases sexual stimulation is avoiding his real life. He wants success, but every...
Holy
shit! What the fuck is with ads,
He was totally losing it, so hearing a creepy voice in his head really didn't help.
Long story short, in his efforts to protect his realm, Arthas discovered a rune blade and took it for himself. This was the fearsome Frostmourne.
Surprise! It's the source of the Lich King's power.
Of course.
Stealing...
Technically, the Helm of Domination serves as the Lich King's source of power, while Frostmourne functions more as a conduit. For Arthas specifically, Frostmourne is directly tied to his power, though.
Souls and storing them within the blade. With this new ice-cold cleaver in hand, Arthas souls... Surprise! It's the source of the Lich King's power. He was stealing souls and storing them within the blade. With this new ice-cold cleaver in hand, Arthas lost his soul and got a Death Knight makeover.
And so the former hero of light would lead the very scourge he previously fought.
And in time, Arthas would don the armor for himself, giving the Lich King a new, ultimate power. Walking!
Remember, everything the Lich King had done up until this point had been from his prison within a literal block of ice.
And this new Sauronite armor, Saronite armor, is the best. Like, what was it doing stuck in ice all this time when it's made of old god blood and self-repairs? Screw you, blacksmith! You're never taking my hard-earned gold! I'll never have to get naked and die again!
By donning this dark helm...
Frostmourne reaps and corrupts souls and can wound souls directly. Ooh, that's going to be helpful for fighting Sauron. Helm of Domination grants dominion over the Scourge, houses the power of the Lich King, and transports to the Shadowlands. Sauronite armor self-repairs, is resistant to magic, and reflects all holy and light magic.
Ner'zhul and Arthas fused to become one, a being far more powerful than either had been before.
He could effortlessly cover cities in ice storms, murder hundreds with the power of shadow, and learn all of your secrets with the Eye of Acheris.
Azeroth's fate was sealed. Everyone was doomed.
See this guy? He's Illidan, a 15,000-year-old demon hunter with a bit of a chip on his shoulder. As a Death Knight, Arthas could take him down, even after fighting through a massive army to get to him. Against this new Lich King, Illidan never stood a chance.
This is important because Illidan had absorbed the power of Gul'dan. an orc warlock who, alongside his followers, raised the Broken Isles out of the sea, a massively powerful feat of magic.
The fact that Arthas, a mortal guy, beat
We'll seemingly retcon for a time. Warcraft 3 Reforged reinstated Gul'dan raising the islands back into canon. This feat is consistent across World of Warcraft 2, Warcraft 3, and the Tides of Darkness novel.
him up is a big deal. Just imagine how kick-ass he'd be in full control of the undying Lich King powers. Oh wait, we don't have to.
Ner'zhul may have pulled Arthas' strings up until this point.
Eye of Icarus that reveals secrets and summons ghouls. Flight and levitation. Ice magic and manipulation. Immortality, mind and soul manipulation. Necromancy and undead summons. Plague of undeath, shadow magic, teleportation, and weather manipulation. Hey, that sounds familiar.
But he had made a drastic miscalculation. Within the mind of the Lich King, Arthas battled Ner'zhul for control and won. The power of Frost.
Notable spells. Fury of Frostmourne deals massive damage and disables resurrection. Harvest Soul pulls a soul into Frostmourne to be devoured. Necrotic Plague, an infection that spreads. Raise Dead, turn a corpse into an undead servant. Remorseless Winter causes a huge winter storm. Summon Drudge Ghouls, creates multiple ghouls. Summon Ice Spear, creates ice projectiles. And Summon Shadow Trap, creates an explosive trap.
Of the Scourge of Undeath itself was now under the command of Arthas.
And by this point, he was just done. Like, with everything. We've all had one of those days, right? Where you see all of humanity is so pathetic they can only be saved by just killing them all, so you rip out your own heart. Yeah, relatable.
Determined to end all life, Arthas led his scourge across Azeroth, spreading the plague to every corner of the world. He slaughtered every contender in his path, including legendary champions like this hero of the Horde, Dranosh Sarfang.
Who the Lich King bitch slapped to death in one hit, then zombified to serve him instead. Man, that didn't go well.
What a dick.
The Lich King seemed unstoppable.
Only one thing could take him down. A 25-man raid team of the best nerds World of Warcraft servers had to offer. And that...
Yeah. Beat Illidan Stormrage, who defeated Gul'dan, conquered a country quickly and effortlessly, considered the most powerful of all the Lich Kings, destroyed a prison that endured planet-shaking attacks, can canonically wipe out an entire 25-man raid, defeated Othar the Lightbringer, Dranosh Sarfang, and Sylvanas Windrunner. Oh, that's how she died?
Raid team of the best nerds World of Warcraft servers had to offer. And that one guy who was just there because he was friends with somebody, but damn, he sucked.
With these heroes triumphant, the Paladin Tyrion shattered Frostmourne with an equally legendary blade, ending the Lich King's vile reign.
But the Scourge doesn't work on Phantom Menace Battle Droid rules, so there must always be a Lich King to keep the relentless undead in check.
Yet no Lich King before or since ever matched the terror and malice Arthas brought to Azeroth.
Without a doubt, one of the most terrifying kings to ever conquer the World of Warcraft.
This episode of Death Battle is
to make fight new pay or get a new shady.
Let's get to the death battle.
Alright, the combatants are set. We've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for an undeath battle!
Freaking Super Mario Galaxy.
Listen to her.
We're here because Gaza still needs your support.
Headlines fade.
I shall claim what is mine.
You'll die trying.
In this cold find only death.
Damn, cool line. Going for the wolf form, huh?
I'll tear out your heart. You will find nothing.
Yeah, he already tore out his own heart, bro.
Your efforts are for naught. I see
This is crazy, man. It's like fucking Akanimu versus fucking Kuzan all over again. He got him with the fucking undeath shit.
you serve me now. I serve no one. Witness the prophecy of your doom. You speak nothing but lies.
Come on, take this punk down. Oh, is Sauron gonna win? Yeah, looks like Sauron wins. Oh shit. That's not good. Now he's got an undead army. So Middle Earth and Azeroth are both fucked.
Well, if he wasn't all powerful before, look out for supercharged Sauron now.
Despite the Lich King's impressive power, Sauron's might was absolute.
But not before he got the duel of his life in a crazy close bout. First up, both Dark Lords could counter pretty much any mind or soul-screwing powers, making a lot of their usual tricks way less noteworthy in this match.
To be fair, the Lich King severely debilitated
Nazul performed a spell that once destroyed a planet, but it required preparation, special items, and a group of followers to accomplish. Also, the destruction of Draenor was a chain reaction of the spell going haywire over time, making it impossible to directly scale it to Nazul.
Sauron via his plague of undeath. Most physical bodies would not survive such a disease.
So Sauron just got rid of his body. Who needs it? Especially when you can rebuild one or just start fighting as a ghost. Both things Sauron could do.
After all, the plague is intended for organic.
Sauron could fight in physical and spirit form, less obvious weakness, more powerful, resisted mental and soul attacks, and had superior regeneration. The Lich King, meanwhile, had armor that could resist his magical attacks, a helm that could block mental and soul attacks, as well as the Plague of Undeath, which did affect Sauron's physical body, but he was far less experienced and less powerful than Sauron.
Mortal enemies and has never infected a spirit.
Another smaller point for Sauron was his weakness. The Lich King was a clever bastard, but even with the Eye of Icarus, it would have been tough for him to decode and destroy the One Ring. Meanwhile, given enough power, Sauron would naturally end up destroying Frostmourne. He's kinda got a thing for breaking swords.
So let's
Fair
compare
enough.
their power. While their highest limit
An unnamed Iridar has destroyed the surface of a planet, but cannot scale to the Lich King, as they vary in power. Similarly, special Maiar have moved the sun and the moon, but it is unclear how they compare to Sauron. Scaling both generously, Sauron would still end up more powerful.
Are certainly nebulous. Interestingly enough, some of the most impressive feats from both worlds involve lifting islands. As Sauron is a more powerful Maya than Osei, and the Lich King could reliably defeat someone with Gul'dan's magic, it is possible to gauge the difference in power by measuring the islands that were raised.
Keep in mind, Gul'dan had a bunch of help, so we're only giving him his share. Turns out, Osei was doing twice the work.
By examining official maps to determine the volume of the islands, we found a difference between lifting 2 quadrillion tons of rock versus 4 quadrillion tons, among further energy required to actually lift these through the ocean, of course. Both impressive, sure, but Sauron had the edge.
And for the final nail in the coffin, the Lich King might have been super scary, but he really wasn't around for all that long. At least not when compared to the experience Sauron has warring with the world for thousands of years.
Yeah.
The Lich King certainly posed a threat to Sauron, but the ruler of Mordor's awesome might, enduring spirit, and millennia of treachery proved him the superior Dark Lord.
Wow!
Is that
really?
Is that it?
What? Are you sour on the pun? I was pretty keen about it.
The winner is Sauron.
Fucking boomstick. Alright, that brings us to the final video for this episode. And it's gonna be Deku versus Asta. I don't know anything about Black Clover. And I've only seen like the first 3, maybe 4 seasons of My Hero Academia. 3 for sure, I think. So I don't know who got the better feats and stuff. Has Deku fought before, or am I thinking of a fight that happens later? Oh yeah, I'm just thinking of this. Spider-Man versus Deku. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Deku.
This episode of Death Battle is sponsored by
Deku, My Hero Academia's super student straight out of UA High.
Asta, the anti-magical ass-kicker from Black Clover.
Though you may be born bereft of the same gifts as your peers, there is nothing stopping you from achieving your dreams.
As long as you're a fictional character in a fantasy world.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you've got your friends by your side, you'll pack a hell of a punch. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a
death battle.
Izuku Midoriya wanted only one thing from life. To be a
hero.
Just like his idol, the #1 ranked superhero in Japan, All Might.
Too bad he was born a freak with no powers. You heard right. This is like a reverse X-Men thing where 80% of the population gets red superpowers, or quirks as they're called, while the remaining fifth are stuck as basic bitches, or as his spiky-haired bully Bakugo called him, Deku.
That's a pun on the Japanese word dekunobu, meaning good for nothing.
Persevering despite his basic...
Real name is Izuku Midoriya, age 16, 5'5", blood type O, originally quirkless. His favorite food is katsudon, and is the biggest All Might fan ever, yeah.
bitchedness, Midoriya got the chance to prove his quirkless heroic mettle against this giant sludge monster, much to the surprise of one particular almighty onlooker.
His body secretly decaying from a horrific injury, All Might needed to find the one who would inherit his all-powerful quirk.
And All Might didn't want just anybody. The hero world was filled with glory seekers in it for fame and money. All Might wanted someone whose body moved on its own to save someone.
He saw exactly that in young Midoriya, and gave him one of the most powerful quirks in the world. One for all.
And that was the problem. Even after bulking up from lad to Chad, the recoil from even one punch would shatter all the bones in his arm. So he trained to be able to handle his gift at the superhero school of his dreams,
UA High.
And that's when he decided to own the name used as a cudgel against him for so many years. Turns out, Deku can also be an abbreviation for Dekiru, someone who can do
anything.
Exactly the opposite of Deku Nobu. One for All allows Deku to release
One for All, Fajin, Danger Sense, Black Whip, Smokescreen, Float, Gear Shift, and Costume Gamma, which has Air Force gloves, Mid Gauntlets, and Iron Soul.
absolutely absurd amounts of strength from different parts of his body, with super moves named after US cities and states.
Deku still can't access all of his power safely though. Using 100% will quickly destroy his body, which is why he learned to distribute his strength evenly
Really?
across
Even
his
by the
body,
end of the
a
show?
technique known as full cowling. This lets him increase his speed and durability as well, making him more all-rounded, and shifting focus to his own interpretation of One for All inspired by his pal Ida, Shoot Style.
Where he pulls out a Glock and blows your brains out. Okay, not really,
No.
but in keeping with One for All's rabbit theme, he trades All Might's signature punches for kicks. My version's better. You ever seen Rabbit vs. Gun? I have, and I know how it plays out.
Considering the much higher muscle mass of a human's legs, Shoot Style allowed Deku to output even more power while giving his arms a break. A break from a break.
And despite being a classic melee build, Deku can fight at range by punching powerful gusts of air, and even precisely aim them with specially designed gloves.
Deku has an encyclopedic knowledge of quirks, and is always
Yeah.
analyzing their strengths and weaknesses mid-battle, even if he does sound a little weird.
Despite only
Yeah.
barely getting accepted in the first place, Deku quickly became one of Class 1A's most dependable fighters. Because, yeah, somehow these students are constantly getting drafted into literal wars
yeah.
against murderous supervillains.
Midoriya's successes in battle against ruthless criminals like Stain, Muscular, and Overhaul came much to his old bully's chagrin. Where Bakugo was a child prodigy, he now found himself overshadowed by his hard-working rival, and the two would use their—
Well, not just him. Todoroki and Momo, too. Katsuki was the definition of a big fish in a small pond. He thought just because he was the king of his fucking, middle school, the king of his small, crummy, whatever town they lived in, he was amazing. But when he came up against people like Todoroki, who is the son of the second best hero in the world, and Momo, who got into the school without even having to participate in the exam because she was recommended by other pros, he realized he wasn't as good as he thought he was.
mutual respect and animosity to motivate each other to get stronger.
Classic frenemies. They're only solving their problems by pounding the living tar out of each other.
Like
Luckily
Goku
for
and
him,
Vegeta.
Deku soon learned that living
And
tar
Naruto and
pounding wasn't
Sasuke.
the only thing he could do. Turns out, One for All did not originate with All Might. It had been passed down 8 times until it
Yeah.
arrived at Deku, with each inheritance also carrying the previous user's natural quirk as well.
Like Black Whip, which lets him manifest crazy long and strong energy tendrils to tie enemies up and swing around the city, or shoot
Like
one out of his
Spider-Man.
mouth, just like our girl Fruppy.
And Danger Sense, which gives him a minor reactive precognition.
AKA, he's Spider-Man. Not even a reach, the mangaka is like the biggest Spidey fan ever.
He can also
Yeah.
produce a smoke screen to mask his presence, float in midair, or store up kinetic energy over time with Fajin.
Whoa.
Like that. By storing up enough, he
Fought all of Class 1A at the same time. Really? Damn. Beat down Sasuke faster than he could heal. Routinely broke his own bones just to win fights. Obliterated a cliffside with 100%. Defied the future that Night Eye foresaw. Survived a nut shot from Cody. Yeah, damn. That kid is an asshole, man. Defeated Bakugo, Stain, Muscular, and Overhaul.
can even match All Might's max power without any
That's where I've seen up to, is him beating Overhaul. I haven't seen anything past him taking him down.
recoil to boot, strong enough to change the weather and create city block-sized tornadoes with a single punch.
And he's even stronger with his newest quirk, Gear Shift, which allows him to increase the speed of an object anytime he touches it. In conjunction with the power of All for One, he can use this to warp reality itself. Deku can go toe-to-toe with arch-villains like Shigaraki, who's fast enough to react to and catch laser beams with his bare hands.
But nothing could prepare him for
Deku has stated that he is physically on par with All Might and would scale to any feat he or the previous One for All users have accomplished.
All Might's archenemy, the shadowy leader of the League of Villains, All for One.
All Might only ever showed his young pupil kindness and support, but that couldn't change the absolutely crushing pressure Deku felt at every moment.
Even classically trained dickhead Bakugo came to help his teammate out when he needed it. Like when they teamed up to share One for All and punch an island-sized hole in the clouds 24 miles high.
Just goes to show that even One for All isn't a one-man army. Deku's true strength comes from his teamwork between himself and his friends.
And with their help, Deku will surely become that beacon of hope he dreamt about as a child.
One hero for all mankind.
Or he'll become a McDonald's worker. We'll see.
You ready for this? We're all trying to figure out how to be real-life adults finally.
This episode is sponsored by Mint Mobile.
This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile.
Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you'll get another 3 months for free.
As the first company to sell premium, what they sell us for employer level have it, and in the world. Magic! You know it, you love it, and in the world of Black Clover, it doesn't come from a box you bought at a tacky West Hollywood costume shop. Everyone's got it.
Mana is the source of all magic, a supernatural energy found in the air and in living beings. Except living beings whose names are Asta.
Not only was the young Asta an orphan of
Age 17, height 5'1", born without any magic affinity, child of magic absorbing Laika, member of the Black Bulls and Royal Knights, aspires to be the Wizard King despite not having magic, and his catchphrase is "Ah!"
Abandoned by his mother at a church as a baby, he was born with a mutation that prevents him from having any mana to speak of as a baby.
Asta.
Not only was the young Asta an orphan abandoned by his mother at a church as a baby, he was born with a mutation that prevents him from having any mana to speak of. Well, neither do I, and you don't hear me crying about it.
Yes, you do, all of the time. But Asta had a dream. Despite his lack of magic, he and his best friend Yuno promised each other one of them would rise to the throne of the greatest military position in the land, the Wizard King. Wizard King? Really, guys? Sometimes they call it Magic Emperor, but we all know what they mean.
So he dedicated himself to getting swole as all hell. In a world of nerds, he would be its lone jock god, shoving every last wizard into a locker until they crowned him king.
But huge frightening pectorals on a tiny screaming goblin child weren't enough on its own. He needed something powerful enough to shut down his opponent's magic.
He needed the 5-leaf clover grimoire.
Essentially a book of spells, a grimoire will choose its user and float beside their wielder at all times.
And
That's
Asta
cool.
was lucky enough to receive the Una reverse card of grimoires. The 5-leaf clover can harness the power of anti-magic, which will literally nullify the effects of other magic spells. Almost like wizard kryptonite. Let the locker stuffing commence! Get nerds!
It wasn't long before Asta was accepted into one of the 9 squads of Clover Kingdom's Magic Knights, the Black Bulls, filled with lazy drunkards, antisocial otakus, and literal sociopaths.
My kind of people!
Great.
Yep, mostly. But much like with Asta, you shouldn't judge a grimoire by its cover. And soon they were all working together and kicking ass like a family should.
Asta harnesses the power of anti-magic by summoning swords imbued with it from the grimoire. Normally, these swords would quickly drain the mana from anyone foolish enough to wield them, but Asta does not have any mana, turning his greatest weakness into a one-of-a-kind strength.
He's got
Damn.
his classic Demon Slayer.
Good on you. Maybe I'll have to check out Black Clover. 5-leaf clover grimoire, Demon Slayer, Demon Dweller, Demon Destroyer, and Demon Slasher. I think he has a thing for demons. Key sensing, Lebay, anti-magic, Black Asta, body sacrifice. sacrifice and unite.
An enormous greatsword which cuts through spells with its edge and deflects them with its flat. Or the Demon Dweller, which can also absorb and copy magic, then toss it right back to sender.
I think my personal favorite is the more complex Demon Destroyer, which severs the relationship between a spell's cause and effect, countering the effects of its magic. This could result in anything from healing a village that was inflicted with poison to preventing reincarnation.
Yeah, okay,
Damn.
Some of these can get a little heady. I personally prefer keeping it simple, like using anti-magic telekinesis to surf on your sword through the sky.
It's worth noting that
The
these
fuck?
swords are made specifically for countering magical attacks and sources of mana. The swords will act as though blunted when striking non-magical foes, more akin to giant clubs than actual blades. Not
Okay.
entirely inconsistent with real-life greatswords.
But none of that's even close to as cool as his deadliest sword, the Demon
That
Slasher.
katana?
A katana as black as the pits of hell and twice as badass.
This one actually does cut like a sword, but it's complicated. It lets Asta actually select what he does and does not want to cut, only
Oh, like
affecting
a true
his
master
target while
swordsman.
leaving anything else unharmed.
Okay, at this point, isn't that just magic?
Magic with a loophole.
And he's studied the blade long enough to become a master swordsman to boot. Not in the real life sense, in the anime sense.
He can
Yeah.
spin himself like a tornado to deflect magic spells, thrust forward at top speed like a charging bull, launch a barrage of anti-magic projectiles, and even channel anti-magic into his swords to vastly increase their size.
Well,
Bruh.
while he may be no good with mana, he has learned to detect ki. Because, of course,
The life force existing in all things. Asta can detect hidden opponents and even predict their movements ahead of time, as long as he's fast enough to react.
with such crazy powers, Asta was taking on threats like the Eye of the Midnight Sun, the Devil Zagrid, and the Dark Triad. So many nerds, never enough lockers. Too bad for Asta, though. He had one serious inner demon.
Literally,
Oh.
housed within the Five-Leaf Clover Grimoire was Liba, a demon exiled from hell for completely lacking magical powers, and who just so
Of
happened
course.
to get adopted by Asta's mother.
Until
What the
he got
shit?
possessed by a different demon and killed her. Vowing vengeance on all demonkind, Liba manifested anti-magic from his hatred as a way to kick their asses, which gave him and Asta
Huh.
a lot of common ground, despite the whole, mom murder thing.
In
Yeah.
fact, the two became true brothers and formed an unstoppable duo. Liba can actually fully merge with Asta for a massive power boost that lasts up to 5 minutes, at the cost of leaving Asta nearly powerless for the next half hour.
Come on, I want it. Yeah,
Stop
I'll
fighting
take
over
it
the
if I
book.
get to be strong enough to slice buildings to pieces, obliterate huge chunks of earth, and tear the most powerful demons apart. Give me the goddamn book.
I'm the book boy, okay? Even characters earlier in the series like Patoli had magic capable of completely vaporizing the entire Clover Kingdom in a single attack. And demons that Asta has fought since then, like Dante and Lucifero, are leagues stronger.
Hell, screw all these demon forms and
Beat Libe with only one arm, sliced the ultimate demon in half, destroyed a large landmass scattered by Dante, routinely dodges beams of light, released his allies from elf possession, survived being impaled multiple times, like Dante. Defeated Vermilion, Langris, Zagrid, and Lucifero.
anti-magic powers. Asta's body is so incredibly well trained, he dodged a beam of light while sleeping. As in, he was asleep, and the force of his sneeze pushed his head out of the way of a beam of light. Light speed sneezes, everyone.
And despite his headstrong
Despite being magical, light spells in Black Clover are as fast as natural light. They can be reflected by mirrors, travel in a straight line, and have been stated to move at light speed.
and irritating personality.
AKA screaming at the top of his lungs as often as possible.
Asta's
Typical
an
anime
intelligent fighter who has
protagonist.
leveraged his skill against far more experienced foes.
But he wouldn't be anywhere without the ragtag band of deviants he calls friends. With them at his side, there's no way he won't climb the ranks to take the Wizard King's throne. Especially with Yuno pushing them both to get stronger.
Unlike other classic shonen rivalries, this one isn't tainted by antagonism. They truly want what's best for each other, even if they're competing for the same throne.
Yuno's gonna need all the luck he can get, cause even if Asta never gets mana of his own, his true magic is never given up.
Like a classic anime protagonist. And again with these ads. Like, I've never even watched this show.
This episode is sponsored by
better help.
That's all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
Alright, Deku. I'm counting on you.
Sword that big? He's gotta be crazy strong. I'm gonna have to rely on more than just my power to take him down.
Just gotta hit him really
A fake arm.
hard.
Nice.
Man, this guy can give even Luck a run for his money.
Keep him off balance. Strike from his blind spots. Shit.
Aren't swords supposed to be sharp?
His aren't. It's actually worked better for you.
Slowed by his sword's weight at all. Gotta hamper his movements and get that book out of his hands. Huh? He found me!
Ah, you totally stole that move.
Now it's my turn.
Get him, Deku.
Wait! Are you not using magic? What kind of magic emperor would I be if I can't beat a guy like this? Detroit Smash! Huh?
Oh, that's... Bro, it's yo-yoing him. Damn, Deku just had one move, huh? And he just spams that shit until it works. Uh-oh.
What Detroit is, but I've had enough of it. I'm ending this quick!
The city. But that's fair, Detroit sucks.
Hit me with all you've got, because I'm never going down!
This is it, Deku. 100% or nothing. Aw, damn it. Can't keep up.
No use not going all out anymore. I just gotta hit him really hard.
Damn right.
You wanted my best? Here it is! 1,000,000,000%!
Ultra! We get no. I thought they weren't sharp.
Take that, Detroit.
Oh, you are fucked, son.
Poor Deku. He tried his best, but Asta just shoved him into that great big locker in the sky.
Both Deku and Asta
God damn
were
it.
fairly evenly matched melee fighters without any specific abilities to give one an easy edge over the other. Though, to be fair, the variety of quirks Deku inherited from past users of One For All did make him more versatile and unpredictable.
Plus, quirks are biological mutations, not connected to some supernatural energy source like mana. So Asta's anti-magic powers were basically useless here.
And Deku was
he's
generally
just hitting
a
them with
smarter and
big
more
ass
tactical
fucking
fighter.
clubs.
But against Asta's incredible might, this time Brawn beat brains.
Let's crunch some numbers! Deku's greatest feat of strength was splitting that enormous cloud formation with Bakugo.
By measuring the size of the island and comparing it to the clouds above, we can determine they dispersed over 63 trillion kilograms of water.
That's the weight of the Great Pyramid of Giza. 12,000 of them!
And required an energy of nearly 80 teratons of TNT per punch.
Let's compare that to Asta. But Toli's spell was going to be strong enough to vaporize a country the size of the Clover Kingdom.
We can use this map from the manga to estimate the size of Clover Kingdom to be about 500 kilometers in diameter, about half the length of Great Britain. Vaporizing a country of that size would require an
This is the maximum for both feats using the minimum time frame for Deku's Cloud Split and Vaporization for the Clover Kingdom's destruction. More conservative estimates would still result in Asta being stronger.
Energy of over 480 teratons of TNT, over 6 times greater than Deku's punch.
While Asta uses anti-magic, it is
Deku was more tactical and had a wider array of powers, but he was slower than Asta, couldn't safely access his maximum power, and swords beat punches and kicks. Asta was physically stronger, faster, had better ways of predicting Deku's movements, and was more mobile within the fight. With flight. But his anti-magic wouldn't affect Deku or his quirks.
Isn't an automatic counter and needs to be comparable in strength to the spell it's combating. And Asta's gotten way stronger since.
Asta was also quicker. Sure, scaling to Shigaraki would give Deku roughly light speed reaction time.
But Asta could dodge light in his sleep, and that's his base form, even before transforming with Liba to get way faster.
And since Deku and Asta's precognitive abilities more or less matched each other, it was only a matter of time before Asta simply overwhelmed him.
Especially since Deku has struggled.
While their base form speeds are somewhat comparable, Libe grants Asta a far better speed boost and gear shift's 20% increase.
In the past against faster opponents. Sure, Deku was smarter, but if he literally didn't have enough time to come up with a plan of attack before getting...
Asta also scales above Salamander, who, according to the Black Cobra databook, is capable of drying the ocean with a single swing of its claws, a feat worth at least 11.5 petatons of TNT.
Getting hammered, his brains were wasted.
Deku's tactical brilliance and harem-scarum tenacity definitely gave his opponent a run for his money, but Asta's raw power, blinding speed, and deadlier weaponry spelled the end for All Might's pupil.
Deku gave it his all, and I wish he had won. Hasta la vista.
Yeah.
The winner is
I wish
Asta.
Deku had won too, man. But it looks like Asta wins. That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. Come back next weekend, and I will have another video to post. It will be episode 35, another milestone. And don't forget to check back on Wednesday to watch watch the single versions of these, I guess, if you want to do that. Yeah, peace out, guys. Have a good one.